On the newspaper page, and love and tradition of the grand design, some people say it's even harder to find. Well, then there must be some magic clue inside these gentle walls, 'cause all I see is the tower of dreams, real love bursting out of every scene.
Hey, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to your second edition of Curtain Call. And yes, believe it or not, I am still your host. Harry did not get fired, much to my surprise. Not only did I not get fired, they gave me a special today. Management really knows how to make a guy feel special. Either that or they're really desperate for content. In any case, Harry's on your screens again. Today, we're going to run down this big pay-per-view we got coming up, Green with Envy. It's a hell of a card. We have Villain versus Crippler, Dark Saint, and The Purge team up to make one of the best tag teams I have a feeling we'll ever see. They'll take on A-List Alverson. We have a Havoc title match with Bassolini and Briggy. That one's going to be good, folks. We have Glenn Sexton coming out of retirement for one more match against Fast Eddie, who had one hell of a debut here recently. We also have two new guys, Kenzo Blackheart and Spilt. Looking forward to see what those guys bring to the table. We also have Anthony the Adrenaline Abrams taking on someone to be determined. We have yours truly, Harry, taking on that pesky, smart-ass Maestro. We will also see Chaos taking on Little Sweet and Matt Anarchy defending his Revolution World Championship against the Man. Folks, we got a loaded show for you today. We'll have on today Dark Saint, Crippler, Fast Eddie, Briggy, Josh Dill, the WGP champion, and Matt Anarchy himself. Management's also informed me that we have a mystery guest here tonight, so I'm excited to see who that is. But the best part is Harry's sources have given him a little scoop. We will have a bombshell announcement tonight regarding the WGP title and when that match will be taking place. So you got to stay tuned because you never know what kind of knowledge Harry's going to drop on a live show. Let's get things started. Let's just bring in that mystery guest. Let's find out who it is. Oh, no.
Oh, yeah.
What are you doing on my show, Maestro?
Well, you thought I was playing games. The games have only just started.
Well, I don't want to play those kind of games you have in mind, Maestro. Of course. Looks like he's frozen up. Frozen with the fear from Harry. Go figure. Well, I guess we'll move right along. I took his words away. What can I say? I had a feeling that would happen. He should have known better than to come on my show because I'll pop his ass back into place. Let's move right along. Let's go ahead and bring in the Dark Saint here, folks. See what he's got to say this week. Dark Saint, hope you're in a little better mood this week, buddy. How's it going?
It's going. Just waiting for green with envy.
Yeah, you seem a little down. You're in a handicap match. I mean, how do you feel about that?
I think I've already made my voice heard on my thoughts on the handicap match. But it is what it is. I'm going to go out there and I'm going to do what the Dark Saint does.
Very well. You're going to be teaming with a guy named The Purge. He doesn't have the strongest track record here. I'm thinking maybe they put him with you so he can learn some things, see what a win feels like. Now, what do you think about The Purge?
Well, I've done wiped the floor with his ass twice, so he should know what an ass whipping feels like. Maybe I can get his head straight, and maybe we can pull out a win against the A-lister, hopefully.
Yeah. Speaking of the A-lister, anything you'd like to say to him today? What are your thoughts on A-list Alverson?
Don't really have any thoughts on the A-lister. Haven't really seen him do anything impressive yet. So he's trying to put me and Purge in the same category, but him and Purge have a lot more in common than me and the Purge. You see, neither one of them have a win in the WGP.
Well, actually, that's not completely true. A-List did beat Chaos, a former WGP champion, but not going to hold that against you. You know, you might have missed that one. He did question your mental capacity. Does that piss you off? How do you feel about that? He's kind of a big shot, high and mighty type guy.
That's how them daddy's money boys are. They think they're better than everybody else. But we're going to see it green with envy. That's not true.
Daddy's money and titty babies every time, I tell you what. Well, I really appreciate you coming on, Dark Saint. It's always a pleasure. Take care, and we're going to go ahead and go to a commercial break real quick.
Visualize the plays inside my mind a million times. Can't bring on my stay because my life is on the line. All the work and all the hours, boy, I stayed upon my grind. If you question my integrity, I answer every time. Yeah. Don't you see these battle scars on my back? I am the gladiator. Devil's black clothes on my judgment day. I am the terminator. I be the originator. I be the innovator. Welcome to the top floor. I am the elevator. Let's go. Welcome to the top. Let's go. Welcome to the top. Welcome to the top. Welcome to the top. I am the elevator. Hallelujah, hell just froze over. Amen. I can feel it coming in the air tonight. Oh Lord, and I've been waiting for this moment for all my life. Oh Lord, I can feel it in the air tonight. Oh Lord, oh Lord.
Ladies and gentlemen, I am
Oh,
here.
shut up, Harry. I can do the talking myself. Gator Goddess, I have to say something. I am going to win that match on March 14th.
The promo queen, everyone. Yikes. Crippler, my guy, thanks for joining us. How are you today, sir?
I'm doing well. I'm doing well. And there's another person, the promo queen, who's all business.
I'm still scared of that little girl. I mean, she wouldn't even let me get a word in.
Oh, well.
So, Crippler, you got a match coming up this Sunday at Green with Envy on March 14th. You'll be going against the villain. He called you out. I know you had a tough loss last week against Little Sweet. Nothing wrong with that. what do you got to do this week to get back in the win column?
Well, first of all, I want to congratulate my badass brother, Little Sweet. We went out and showcased why we're all business. So when it came down to everything, when it comes straight down to the money brass tacks of it all, we went out there, put everything out on the line, and showcased why we're the badass club and that we will beat each other senseless and still try to get the win. Now, yes, Little Sweet got the win. Getting myself back into the win column, not going to be all that difficult. I know who's coming up next. The villain, it'll be all business as usual.
Okay, fair enough. Another thing I've noticed as I've been watching the pages, you've been throwing a lot of commentary, a lot of shade at the Revolution World Champion, Mad Anarchy. What are you hoping to accomplish by doing that?
Well, Harry, if you look at the stats, if you look at the statistics right now, I'm sitting in the number 3 spot. Now, yes, the man has got the shot at Mad Anarchy, but it took management to look at the most minute of things between me and the man.
That's fair.
If I didn't take that loss in the tag team title match, which I'm not here to moan, grope, or complain, but if I didn't take that loss, who would be in that position? I would be. So I'm just letting Mad Anarchy know that I'm in number 3 in the standings in Revolution, that he should be watching. As much as he's got to pay attention to the man, he's got to realize there's another man right behind it.
Okay, fair enough. So the villain called you out recently. How'd that make you feel? Do you think a win against the villain puts you in the title picture after this Sunday?
Well, after this Sunday with Green with Envy, I'm looking at this as I have to go out and beat the villain to secure my spot, to keep my spot in the standings. But for the villain, he has to win to become relevant. Because where he's at right now, well, I haven't even seen him on the chart. So this would put him in relevancy. So he's got all the spotlight on him. And yet again, I'm pulling somebody from the primordial ooze and making them a something for a minute time, only to just drop him back to wherever he came from.
Interesting. Okay, well, fair enough. Grippler, I really appreciate you coming on the show today to hype your match. It's really important to get guys on here and give you guys an opportunity to sound off. So look forward to having you on again soon, my friend.
Oh, no problem. As I like to say, the Badass Club is all business, and we're always going to be around. So you can always find one of us on the show.
Understood.
Good pleasure
All
to
right.
be here, Harry.
All right, take it easy, Crippler.
You too.
I'm going to bust a cap on your arse. Fuck off for now, eh?
Fast Eddie, what an honor it is to have a gentleman as yourself on the show today.
Yeah, what a beautiful man you just had on there. My lord. Handsome devil. How are you, sir?
I'm doing spectacular. Look, I first want to congratulate you. That was a huge win in your debut over the Irish Car Bomb. It's really impressive for you to just come in your first match and knock off a key player like that. What do you say to those who call that an upset?
Well, in a way, I suppose you could say it was. I mean, the Car Bomb was a top man, but I believe I had the skills in order to defeat him, and I did. And I think your friends will be quite surprised at exactly what I can do. And we'll just have to wait and see now, won't we?
Yeah, that's fair enough.
By the way, that little girl's going to hurt you one of these days.
She's a handful.
She's scary.
She scares me, believe me. So, what brought you to Revolution, and what are you hoping to achieve here?
Well, what brought me here was the talent that you have and the format. I really enjoyed watching it before I joined up. It was quite exciting, and I needed a change of pace. I just got back from helping the Queen with her security problems as of late.
Oh,
So I've been able to get back to the States, and now I'm ready to start winning matches and all that. As far as my goals, this is probably where you're supposed to say, well, I'm here for one reason and one reason only, but that's not true. Yes, I would very much like to meet up with Matthew again. We've had our goes here and there over the past, but I also would prefer people remembering that my match was the most entertaining match of the night.
that is true.
That's my primary goal, as well as meeting Mr. Anarchy.
Excellent.
Down the
Well,
road.
it is always entertaining anytime you're on our screens, I must say, Mr. Eddie. So speaking of which, at Green with Envy, you will be going up against Sexton. What do you know about this guy?
Hey, well, from what I've seen, and there's not a lot there, he's quite the whiner, isn't he?
You said it, not me.
He counts his losses and whines about it. I'm afraid the little fella's in for another loss coming up at Green with Envy. I hate to tell him that, but that's just how I see it.
Well, I can't wait to see it. Looking forward to that match. And Fast Eddie, thank you so much for coming on the show today. Really look forward to having you back again.
No problem. Thank you for having me. This is one last thing for Mr. Sexton.
Okay.
There you are.
Oh,
Ta-ta.
send the best to the Queen. All right, ladies and gentlemen. Real quick, I want to thank Pinfall Streams for letting us have Curtain Call today. If you get a chance, check out some of their podcasts and the other things that they do. It's really great, the platform that they give us here, and we appreciate them. Don't forget, we still have a bombshell announcement coming up tonight. I can't wait to break that news. Up next, the Havoc champion, Mr. Briggy. Let's see what he's got to say. Uh-oh. Maybe the third time's a charm. Uh-oh. I think we're having some technical difficulties, folks. So while we're waiting for that to get taken care of, let's just do another quick recap of some of the things that's happened. Fast Eddie says Sexton will be very disappointed at Green with Envy. Crippler had some strong words for Villain, and
that's how I found many men, no homo. Relax, I'm talking about Curtis Jackson, you little shit. Many men, shit. There ain't many left. You see how these men dress? They wearing women's dresses. What's next? I'm over here stressing. It's fucked up, what's the message? Running laps around you motherfuckers and I ain't even sweating. I ain't talking shit, I'm flexing. Don't be talking shit all reckless. I take these rappers' souls and I wear it like a necklace.
TDC.
Unfortunately, our WGP Havoc champion appears to not be in the building at the moment. But I would not leave you hanging without having another guest. So,
I'm a villain, untraditional hence. I am for a higher calling, got additional sense. Rolling with the vanguard for additional threats. And if you are in the way, there'll be additional deaths. Yes, I was brought in by the teaching of Stain, ready to eradicate
The Purge. How are you, sir?
All good, all good. I just don't being here so that I don't get fined.
Oh, okay.
Engaged by
that. You know, the Hooded Warriors, they like their corn dogs and stuff, so they like to collect that fine money.
I gotta be honest, I don't really care if I get fined or not. All I care is to however, to go up in this 201 handicap match. I don't know who smoked the baddest weed after all in the office, but who picked me in a tag team against Dark Saint or with Dark Saint?
I know. Shocker. That was management. So how do you feel about that? Teaming up against one of your arch nemesis, or sorry, teaming up with one of your arch nemesis. It's got to be a little awkward.
More or less the old nemesis of mine. I mean, this chapter was done. I did a no gimmicks match with him. I did a with gimmicks match with him. And now I am in a team against A-lister. Here, A-lister. He can suck my balls after that.
Oh wow. Okay. Well, we don't want to go that far yet. So how do you feel about A-list? Have you seen his previous 2 matches?
Should I go be honest? Should I go be honest with you?
You should.
He is bought as fuck. So I shouldn't go watch his promos or more like that. Or more like his Pornhub videos by that.
Oh, geez. Okay. Yeah, I didn't know about those. I do know he likes sucking on bosoms. I know that.
Yes. I am always 100% ready for this fight. And neither if Darkseid is in my way or with my way or not, I'm going to be victorious.
Okay. Well, what's next? After this handicap match, after you and Dark Saint take care of business, what's next for the Purge?
What's next for the Purge? Mm-hmm. I don't question it to myself. I always said, let the future bring what comes next.
Fair enough.
I don't care if I'm going into a #1 contender match or if I'm going once again against Dark Saint. But don't do that, Office. I swear by God, I will shit it on your desk. 100%.
We don't want anybody shitting on desks, that's for sure. Well, hey, speaking of which, Chaos gave you some advice in his last promo when you guys had a match. How'd you feel about that advice that Chaos gave you?
The problem is that was a last-minute booking for me. That is point 1. Point 2 is Chaos was a good opponent. I admit that. I learned from so many promo artists and so many other events. But Chaos is not a teacher after all. But he brought me a fight.
That is true. Well, Mr. Purge, it's always a delight having you on. I look forward to having you on after your match with A-List this Sunday, maybe. Good luck. Take care. And we'll be talking soon, my friend. So, ladies and gentlemen, we will not have the Havoc champion on tonight. A little disappointing, but, you know. Okay, that's the 4th time I've seen that damn video. I was hoping someone was here this time. How are you, Mr. Briggy?
What's going on, Harry? Sorry, I had some technical difficulties there trying to get on. Sorry about that. How's the show going today?
The show is going just fine. You know, we're working out the kinks from last week, and I think this week's going pretty well. Mr. Briggy, congrats on congrats. I got the wrong paper in front of me. What I wanted to say was, what a hell of a streak you've been on lately. White hot as the Havoc champion. What's the secret to your success, Mr. Briggy?
Well, it's just like I say, I'm going to come out here and do every time. I'm the brother of brutality, and I'm going to dish it out while I'm on this screen every single time I'm on it. There's not a single person that can beat me when I'm on top of the game. The only person that can beat me is myself. And when I decide to lay this title down, that's when I'm going to do that. But I'm not going to do that now. And I got Bossolini coming up on the 14th, and I'm going to show that he ain't nothing but a bot. She's more like a bitchalini.
Oh, you know what I'm saying. Bitchalini. I like that. Well, speaking of which, Bossolini's been on a pretty good run lately. What are your thoughts on him, and how do you feel about him bringing the Gator Goddess into this whole scheme of things?
Well, you know, the Bossolini, he's a good character to go after. He's definitely going to be a good test. I'm going to get past it like I do every other test that has been set in front of me. But the Gator Goddess, man, you know, that's a good friend of mine. I don't know what he did to get her to try to come and take my title. But yeah, it was very surprising. But that's as close as he's going to get to this title. He's going to have a little girl come and take it because he's not man enough to do it himself.
That's the truth. Well, money talks, and I'm assuming he put a lot of money towards the Gator Goddess, and that's probably why she betrayed you. But glad to see you got that title back. I was really concerned. It was fun watching you hunt. I enjoyed that video. So moving on, you recently revealed the Sweet Brothers are now a member of the BC. What's the plan moving forward with the BC, and how did those two guys change the dynamic of your group?
Well, you know, me and Gene, as good as we are, we needed a little bit of backup to keep the Badass Club going. So we were thinking, who could we go after? There's not really many people out there with badass qualities. So we go after the undefeated Phenom and Jewy Sweet, and your soon-to-be future WGP champion, heavyweight champion, Big Sweet. Why not go right for the top guys if you're going to try to create a top faction? You know what I mean, Harry?
I do. I know what you mean, and I'm excited to see what's in store for those guys. We have an announcement later tonight regarding Big Sweet's match. You want to stay tuned for that one.
Oh, yeah. I'm looking forward to see what that is. That's for sure.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Harry's sources have some interesting information. Any parting words you want to tell the WGP universe before we let you go, Mr. Briggy?
Well, WGP, you can see our match coming up on March 14th, me and Bossellini, and you can expect the same that you always do. And that's me going out there and just whooping ass and bringing this title right back home to where it belongs. And let me go ahead and put everybody on notice one more time, because once I beat Bossellini, I can cash this in whenever I want. Nobody forget that. Revolution champion, WGP champion. I can go after anyone I want. So just remember that. And I'm coming for that belt when the time is right.
I can't wait to see that. And do me a favor, let Harry know first, and maybe we can break that announcement here on a live show, which one Mr. Briggy wants to go after.
I will keep you
sir,
updated, Harry.
Thank you for coming on the show, man, and good luck next week, and I'm sure we'll be talking real soon.
Thanks a lot. You have a great night, Harry.
You do the same. All right, as I mentioned, we have a bombshell announcement coming up. But first, we are going to interview your WGP champion, Josh Steele. Mr. Steele, wow, what a beautiful belt, sir. How are you today?
I'm doing great, Harry. Thank you. And thank you for having me on on your show. Very love it. You do such an excellent job.
It's great to have you on again. Well, first of all, let me say congratulations on your win once again. How much does that title mean to you now that you have that thing in your hands? And what's next for Josh Steele? What would you like to accomplish next?
Well, honestly, this title means a lot to me. For me, it's a symbol of 9 months of hard work, busting my ass, putting my passion and my love and determination for this business onto the screen for each and every one of the fans and people like you. Because without you, without the fans, we're nothing more than people coming on screen talking shit to each other.
Well, that means a lot, Mr. Steele. I really appreciate that. So, as you know, there's been some changes to the card at Green with Envy. I'm not going to spoil it yet, but I have a little source that's told me what those changes are. Before we get to that, I want to know, what are your thoughts on your match with Big Sweet being pushed back?
Honestly, I mean, it doesn't bother me. I'm ready for the fight. I'm ready to prove that I am the WGP champion, that I deserve to be the face of this company. But I welcome any and all interesting developments that management may throw our way.
Well, we're going to get to those soon. Who do you think that mystery opponent could be? Any guesses?
With management, there's no telling. I mean, it could be our revolutionary world heavyweight champion, Mad Anarchy.
That'd be fun.
It could be a complete and total surprise. We could have a no-name shocker come in. Whoever it will be, it will definitely be interesting, because I know Pinfall Productions I know Revolution, WGP, they do not disappoint. They are out to entertain and give everybody exactly what they want.
You are absolutely right. Well, I'm sure you've heard by now that part of the stipulations is if you beat your mystery opponent at Green with Envy, you will get to select a stipulation for your match against Big Sweet at Salvation. If you do win, assuming you do, any idea what type of stipulation you might like to add to a match?
It's interesting you asked that, Harry, because I've actually been pondering on that for a while now. And there's so many interesting choices. I mean, I could have him promo blindfold. I could give him 1 minute and I could have 5. I could make him join a club because I know he likes joining clubs so much. I know Chris Champion has a club that needs new members.
Oh, I like that.
Possibilities are endless.
They are. Okay. Those are some great ideas. Now, you know Big Sweet pretty well. You've known him for a while. And if he wins his match against a mystery opponent, he gets to select the stipulation. What do you think a stipulation Big Sweet would choose would be? Something that's going to help him have an edge against you.
Definitely. I think that he would go for something like taking away my screen presence, my effects, maybe give me more time. Like make me go 10 minutes to his 5.
I like that. You know what Harry would do? Harry would take away your cigarette because I think that's your secret power right there.
Yep, that's my spinach, just like Popeye.
That's right. Good stuff. Well, Mr. Steele, before you go, I'm going to go ahead and break this bombshell announcement and tell you that while we all know the WGP title match for Green with Envy has been rescheduled by management, that match will take place at Salvation in April.
Very nice.
Instead, at Envy, we will see Josh Steele take on Anthony the Adrenaline Abrams. If Steele wins that match, he gets to pick his stipulation against Big Sweet. Now, here's the catch. At the next Carnage, Big Sweet will also take on Anthony the Adrenaline Abrams. And like we said, if he wins, he will get to pick that stipulation as well. So, Mr. Steele, now that we know who you'll be facing, now that the cat's out of the bag, what are your thoughts on Mr. Abrams?
Very intrigued, very interested to see what Mr. Abrams can bring. I've seen his introduction hype. I've talked to him in passing in the locker room. He seems like a very stand-up fellow. I'm interested to see what he brings to the table. I've never been one that would back down from a challenge. I love to fight. I love to push myself. That's how you get better. So I'm ready and willing and able to do this.
Absolutely. Well, Mr. Steele, again, congratulations. The belt is beautiful, and your shoulders hoisted up real nice and pretty. Thank you again for coming on, and I look forward to talking to you after the show next week as well, sir.
Not a problem. And if I could, one quick second, I would like to address somebody that was on the show earlier. Because I noticed that the Havoc champion, Mr. Briggy, wanted to come out here, and he wants to put me on notice saying that he's coming for my WGP championship. I would advise him to strongly keep his focus on Bossalini because he's got a long ways to go before he can even cash in that option C.
That is a great point. Well, again, Mr. Steele, thank you for everything. Good luck on Sunday, and we'll be talking soon, my friend.
Yes, sir. Y'all have a great night.
Toodles. All right, folks. Well, let's get a quick commercial break before we bring in our last guest, Mr. Matt Anarchy.
Back to the goal, LaCroix's move, he scores! He did it again! Andre Svechnikov, his second LaCroix-style goal! Left wing, Josh the line, next move by Milano, walking right in, scores! What a goal!
between a touchdown and the field goal. That's an excellent hustle.
Rashad Tuttle, whose uncle Terry Tuttle. Getting to the wide open tight end on the outside. Dawson Knox breaks a few tackles, barrels for another one. He's inside the 25-yard line. Do what we do offensively. Got his man, Juszczyk fights his way, still fighting his way.
All right, as I mentioned, we're going to have your Revolution.
Sorry to interrupt you, Harry, but we have a guest that has chose to come on. I know our Revolution champion is back here salivating, licking his chops, but let's
always love surprise guests.
Yeah, always surprise guests. So give me 1 second. Let me go get him.
Yes, sir. Can't wait to see who this is. Mr. Chaos, what do we owe the pleasure, sir?
I didn't mean to come here and interrupt Mad Anarchy's time, but you see, I have to keep on coming out time and time again to remind my opponents that I am coming to rip their throats out. They think that they could just sit in the back and be quiet and think that they could just breeze through this match. But I need to take every opportunity I can to get on screen to remind them that I am coming.
Absolutely. Well, your opponent, Little Sweet's been kind of quiet. He joined the Badass Club, and we haven't heard anything else from him. What do you have to say to Little Sweet today?
Well, I think it's absolutely awesome that he decided to join the Badass Club because, Mr. Harry, I know you're a little new around here. Do you know my history with the BC?
I've seen a little bit. I think you've had a lot of success against him.
Because he retired, I've competed against every single member of the BC until these newest recruits, and I beat every single one of them every single time I've competed against them. I haven't taken a single loss to any BC member yet, and I don't plan on letting that happen this coming weekend at Green with Envy. The role is going to continue. Once again, I put another BC member underground, and I continue rising up to try to get that beautiful white strap that Josh Steele has his hands on right now.
Everyone wants that white strap. Well, so this is almost a streak versus streak match because Little Sweet undefeated in the WGP and Chaos undefeated versus the BC. This is going to be interesting. Well, any parting words for the WGP before we let you go, sir?
Every single person that is a champion in the WGP, make sure you clutch that title tight when you go to sleep at night, because I'm coming.
Goodness.
Oh, Mr. Chaos, you're going to come out and you're going to get right in the middle of my interview time, and you're not even going to extend that offer beyond the WGP? Come on, man. That doesn't sound very confident.
Look, my eyes are on certain titles here in the WGP. No offense to you. I didn't realize I was going to be stepping on your toes. I came in last minute, and I had no idea that it was your turn next. My bad. You know, it is what it is. Shit happens. Remember, my interview time got interrupted last week that we did this by Gene Emerson. I don't even know what that was about. Just for him to come out talk about it was 2 weeks ago, right? Talking about his match against Jewy Sweet before they recruited him to the BC. He interrupted my interview time to talk about that, which didn't even concern me. Like, it had nothing to do with me. So I
And
feel
today, Anarchy interrupts you. So this is becoming a common theme. Anytime Chaos comes on screen, he gets interrupted.
well, this was Anarchy's time, so it's different. Gene just interrupted me, like straight up interrupted me. It wasn't even his time, so it's a little different. A little different.
That was a little strange. All right, Chaos. Well, we're going to let you go, and I'm going to talk to Mr. Anarchy here and see what's on his mind. Take care, my friend. Mr. Matt Anarchy, let me first say that intro is amazing. I never get tired of watching that.
Well, thank you, Harry. It's an absolute pleasure to be on this show. I was a little upset I didn't get to stop by after your last event after Carnage, but, you know, busy day on the announce desk and all. But it's good to be able to get out here and have the opportunity to make a curtain call with you.
Absolutely. I'm sure there will be many more. So let's jump right into it, Mr. Anarchy. You head in the green with Envy with what is basically a rematch from the very first Revolution main event. What do you anticipate will make this match any different from the first one?
You know, thank you for bringing light to the fact that this is, in fact, a rematch of the very first main event from Breakdown, because if you look at the way things have gone, there are quite a few out there who may not realize, oh, look at that, I took over, who may not realize that this is, in fact, a rematch of the first main event from a Breakdown, because let's face it, look at what I've done and look at what he's done, right? So, what's going to be different this time around? That's a little bit of a difficult thing for me to answer, because while I am extremely prone to changing everything, the outcome's going to be exactly the same, which is further proof that I am written in the stars as not chosen, but proven.
Can you hear me? Oh, I'm back. Okay. Don't know what happened there. You're such a good-looking guy. They just wanted to give you the whole screen. Strong words. Chosen but proven. I love it when you say that. So let's talk about this. If you were to beat the man next Sunday, who do you think you'll face at Salvation? Who's going to be your next test, Mr. Anarchy?
Well, when I beat the man at Green with Envy, I will walk out of that match just as I walked out of working with the promo queen, just as I walked out of the triple threat main event for the Revolution of Evolution tournament. I will walk out of that with targets already on my back. We've already seen them. But as far as who will be my next test, well, I think the obvious answer is the wrong answer. At the end of the day, the man who will challenge me is the man who is doing everything that he can to prove to the Revolution and WGP universe that his focus is elsewhere now. And he is going to try to use that, and he is going to claim an opportunity against me. But the real question is he ready for that opportunity against me? And that's what we're going to find out.
I think I know who you're talking about, and I look forward to seeing that. All right, Mr. Anarchy, you're a guy who's known for surprises, especially in these big matches like this. Can you give us any insight, any hints maybe, about what you might have planned for the man this upcoming Sunday?
Coming up this weekend, you're going to see a little bit of old, a little bit of new. But it will all be pure gold, because it will all be pure anarchy. And that is what makes me revolutionary. Because the people have spoken.